Clashes between lawmakers and federal agents.
If a United States senator becomes too afraid to speak up, how can we expect any other American to do the same?
As more ICE raids keep happening across the country. Telling her story.
I was just snorkeling, then I went up to breathe, and then something hard bit me.
After doctors performed a miracle. And it's a man's best friend.
It really helps build that human-animal bond.
A special program that helped pets find their forever home. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Paula Svignano.
And I'm Nicoletta for today's Friday, June 20th, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Tensions rising among politicians over immigration. With the situation escalating concerns throughout Los Angeles, there have been issues among lawmakers.
As Caplin's Jason Harrow reports, the DHS will work with these parties to accommodate the law.
Protesters gather outside Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles Thursday following conflicting statements over the presence of immigration and customs enforcement agents. The baseball team says it denied federal agents permission to their lots, while the Department of Homeland Security says U.S. Customs and Border Patrol vehicles were parked nearby briefly, unrelated to any operation or enforcement. While tensions due to recent immigration raids arise in L.A., some U.S. lawmakers are also going head-to-head with federal agents.
Get on my hands. Go ahead. Put him behind my back.
Last week, Democratic Senator from California, Alex Padilla, was forcibly removed from a press conference after attempting to ask Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem a question.
If a United States senator becomes too afraid to speak up, how can we expect any other American to do the same?
And in New Jersey, Democratic Representative LaMonica McIver was indicted last week for allegedly impeding and interfering with immigration officers outside a detention center. McIver's attorneys say they will be challenging these charges in court. DHS is now issuing new guidance, asking members of Congress to provide 72 hours notice before visiting detention centers. The top Democrat on the Homeland Security Committee called the move, quote, an affront to the Constitution and federal law. In its new memo, DHS says the department will make every effort to comply within law and accommodate members. For Caplin News, I'm Jason Harrow.
President Trump is giving Iran 2 weeks to respond to diplomacy before deciding on a potential U.S. strike. This comes amid escalating tensions with Israel under fire from Iranian missiles and a growing U.S. military presence in the region. As the conflict unfolds, stateside emergency teams are also being deployed to assist. Meanwhile, in Tampa earlier today, Governor DeSantis welcomed home a plane full of Florida evacuees who were stuck in Israel.
Given that you have a barrage of missiles being launched by a very hostile regime into Israel, given that the airport's totally shut down, given that the neighboring areas aren't exactly easy to navigate, this was probably the most challenging and logistically difficult mission that the Florida Department of Emergency Management has done.
The team is tasked with evacuation support, medical logistics, and coordinating safe passages for Americans on the ground.
Pope Leo XIV calls on global leaders to prioritize peace speaking on his first solo media interview since being elected last month. In yesterday's interview with Italy's public broadcaster, the Pope said the events going on around the world are truly worrying. As conflicts escalate in the Middle East and other regions, he urged world leaders to unite seeking for peace as too many innocent lives are being lost.
Juneteenth was celebrated across the country yesterday, commemorating the day the last enslaved people in the U.S. were freed. But this year, some celebrations were scaled back or canceled. CNN's Lee Waldman reports on what's behind this change.
In the trying political times we have in the United States today, right, it's important for all of us to understand that history.
The city of Milwaukee, home to one of the nation's longest-running Juneteenth Day celebrations, kicked off its festivities Wednesday.
Happy Juneteenth! Juneteenth shows us the way that we should celebrate freedom.
However, communities across the country are canceling or reducing their celebrations because of federal rollbacks on DEI practices and opposition to events celebrating diversity. Robert Bland, an assistant professor of history and Africana studies at the University of Tennessee, says these types of decisions are a part of our nation's history of progressing forward and then taking steps backward.
Obviously, this is deeply connected to our current political moment, and we kind of see the reversal in a number of ways of the gains that kind of came out of the George Floyd protest.
In West Virginia, Republican Governor Patrick Morrisey says state employees will not have a paid day off for the federal holiday, citing financial reasons. In a statement, the American Civil Liberties Union of West Virginia says Morrisey's decision is, quote, just another opportunity to show how little he understands or cares about racism.
Sometimes it is 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, but then you continue the struggle. You continue fighting for history, fighting for rights, fighting for justice for everybody.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
A new coronavirus variant Nimbus, also known as MB181, is spreading globally, including the U.S. This Omicron offshoot is driving a COVID-19 surge in China and parts of Asia. As of June 7th, Nimbus now represents 1/3 of the new COVID-19 cases in the U.S., increasing from 5% last month. Experts warn a summer wave could strike the U.S. and Europe as the variant continues to spread.
A 9-year-old is recovering after a shark bite off the coast of Florida. The bite was near Tampa over a week ago, and doctors say her hand was almost fully detached, but thankfully they were able to save it. ABC 7's Sophia Vitello has the story.
A brave Leah Lindell sharing what happened to her for the first time since the attack on June 11th. The 9-year-old's hand inside that yellow pillow to help with elevation and swelling.
I didn't see anything. I was just snorkeling, then I went up to breathe, and then something hard bit me. I pick up my hand and it's all in blood.
Her mother and father remembering the moment they wish they could forget.
Instantly, I figured out that it was a shark.
I heard like this yell or scream, and I saw like the fling of the arm, and it was like almost completely gone.
From the Boca Grande beach that day, the child was airlifted to Tampa General Hospital, where several doctors were waiting.
It took everybody from the start to, the timing, the first responders that said go straight to Tampa General.
We know that there's this critical time about that 6-hour mark where we start to lose muscle.
The doctors say there was significant tissue loss, so the procedure required taking artery grafts from her leg.
The shark's teeth are so sharp that the cut through the wrist is clean.
Dr. Hess says that actually contributed to the success of the surgery. Shortly after the operation, Leah already moving parts of her hand.
I was just like, praise God.
And when the child was asked if she'd go in the water again,
yes.
Sophia Vitello, ABC 7, your local station.
Well, Nikki, let me tell you this right now. This is probably one of the bravest little girls I've ever seen in my life, and I'm just so glad that she's okay.
Yeah, and shout out to the doctors, too, for making that happen, because that was a scary looking bite.
Yeah, but in other really good news, Inter Miami shows that it has no fear of European teams in a Club World Cup first.
Yeah, out here making history, but that's still ahead, and so is this story.
Matches senior pets who are 7 years of age and older with adopters who are 65 years of age or older.
A heartwarming program that pairs senior citizens with senior pets. Stick around because Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
initiative is bringing together senior citizens with older pets who need a home.
The Humane Society in Southwest Florida says the program will benefit both the animals and the new owners. Reporter Maria Regina Mendoza has more on the story.
Cats and dogs aged 7 and older often spend more time in shelters. Many are passed over because of fears about medical costs or concerns over how much time they have left to live. However, Gulf Coast Humane Society is changing that narrative with the Silver Paws VIP program.
It matches senior pets who are 7 years of age and older with adopters who are 65 years of age or older. And it includes their adoption fee is waived, and we will actually provide the vet care for life for the adopter and the animal through our veterinary clinic here at Gulf Coast Humane Society.
Andre says at its core, the program is about more than adoption. It's about creating lasting bonds.
It really helps build that human-animal bond, especially with the seniors. It gets companionship for the adopter and it gets companionship for the animals.
I spoke with Aileen Wilson by the phone. She says her 2 senior cats give her a sense of purpose.
My senior cats are very senior, and they absolutely are the best thing in my life. When I come home, they greet me, they think they're dogs. They keep me up and moving. They make me responsible for something, which is something you lose a lot as a senior once your kids move away. It's nice to have something that relies on you.
A local dog owner says he agrees.
I think it's a good idea. It helps with loneliness. You just got to care for the pet. So that's the big part of being a pet owner.
The program so far has been very successful. Gulf Coast Humane Society says the phone has been ringing nonstop as more people express interest in adopting senior pets. Maria Regina Mendoza, Wink News.
Inter Miami made history in Atlanta, claiming their first ever win at the FIFA Club World Cup, defeating Portuguese giants FC Porto 2-1. It's also the first time an MLS team has beaten a European side in a FIFA competition, after going down early on a controversial penalty. Inter Miami responded with an equalizer from Velasco Segovia. Then in the 54th minute, Lionel Messi delivered a classic free kick to seal the victory.
Jumping over to another sport, baseball, a sunny showdown in Miami as the Marlins hosted the Phillies last night. Nicky Fortes put Miami on the board in the 5th, 1-0, but Philly answered, tying it in the 7th. Then taking the lead on a Kyle Schwarber blast in the 8th. The Marlins threatened late but came up short. The final score was Phillies 2, Marlins 1. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Paula Sirignano.
And I'm Nicolette Esper. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.